So, not a millionaire yet, but we're getting closer. Okay, guys, I have an announcement, and this might spoil the video, but I'm hoping you'll continue to watch it anyway. I am officially a 100,000aire. Yes, as of this month, I officially have a net worth of over $100,000, which is so exciting to me. I began this journey in 2014 with negative $33,000 to my name, and I was really scared and bad at money, and I've been documenting my process through paying off all that debt in 3 years, through saving, now investing, and having real estate and multiple avenues of income. And I'm starting to see some progress, at least as far as net worth goes. Yeah, I mean, we've been making progress this whole time. Thank you so much for sticking with me, for listening to me, for watching me, for allowing me to be a part of your lives. And yeah, let's get into the budget report and net worth update, though there was your spoiler. Also, I now have BG Money merch available down below in my Teespring shop. You can get this Future Millionaire tee or sweatshirt or mask or mug or sticker if you are also a future millionaire, which I'm willing to bet a lot of you guys are. If not millionaires already, you can do it. We'll get there. We will. I'm 1/10 of the way there currently. And by the way, if you don't know me, I am Sarah, also known as Budget Girl here on the internet. And I show you my budget every single month because I believe that transparent personal finance is something that we need in this world. People are usually very secretive about money, and it only leads to people being bad managers of their money. When our parents don't teach us, when we don't teach our kids, when we don't talk with our coworkers or our friends about money, it creates systems where the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and there's no way to climb that financial ladder. So I show you my numbers in the hopes that this will give you something to compare to. I have a fairly average life and job. It's getting more extraordinary every day, but it starts there. And yeah, let's get into my budget, and I hope this encourages you to talk about money. So for my day job, which is a communications coordinator at Texas A&M, I made $3,109. By the way, you can get this budget and this net worth tracker at my Etsy shop. These are the tools that I have used for close to 7 years now, though the net worth tracker is a little newer, and they're how I've managed to get out of debt and build wealth, because you have to track your money and figure out where it's going and tell it where to go in order for it to serve you the best way. So you can get those at my Etsy shop. I will link that down below. And if you want to see how to turn over your budget for a new month, I have a video on that. And if you want to see how I did my annual budget summit, I will link that down below as well. It's how I change up my budget every year, usually in January, to make sure that it is working for me. One of the things that I changed in the budget summit was I used to just have like a $500 income goal for Budget Girl. This year I actually have a income goal of making $50,000 from my side hustle, which is the same amount that I make at Texas A&M. And the difference here is pre-tax, post-tax. And so I put an income goal of $3,333, which would equal out to $50,000 a year. So I actually did manage to get over that. This month I made $5,396.77 off of Budget Girl, and that's awesome. And I'll show you exactly where I made that money from as we get further into the budget. I also got $676.92 from my boyfriend, who rents out part of my home, and he splits the bills with me. So I also have a renter in the other side of my duplex that pays me $10.50. So that's actually not going to be there in March because I'm turning over the unit, and you guys will hear more about that soon. And then $600 for a stimulus from the government that finally came in on January 30th on my birthday. So I actually had my second ever over $10,000 income month, due in large part to that stimulus and some other stuff that I'll show you down below. But yeah, that's exciting. I've now officially had 2 $10,000 months. I don't expect that to keep happening, but it's Very cool. It's a milestone in like every wealth builder's journey. So down here you can see my actual budget. One of the things that I changed from last year's budget to this year is that I used to just put my portion of the mortgage in here, and I figured out that that was not the best way for me to do this. So my actual total mortgage is $1,700, and then and I'm responsible for paying that whether or not I have a renter, whether or not Jacob's living with me. So it makes more sense to put this in here as my bill. So $1,700, and then that gets offset by these. So yeah, Jacob pays $500 a month. My renter pays $1,050. That leaves $150 for me to pay of my mortgage every month, but that's going to change soon. So I'll let you guys know when that happens. Phone was normal. Gas, I only spent $16 in gas. $149 for electric, which is not that bad. And I changed this as well. This is a full electric bill because I'm responsible for it, whether or not my boyfriend is living with me. Jacob and I are fine, but I switched up my budget a little. So then what I do is I just take half of that and I give it to him to repay me on. Also, all the bills are in my name anyway, so I spent $368.29 on groceries, which is a touch over what I budgeted for, but that's okay. I spent under on my personal budget, and I spent over my restaurant budget. My birthday was this month, so we did go out, and I did actually pick up the tab for my birthday dinner, which was sushi. I spent $95 on some clothing, $20 on my subscriptions, and then another $10 on my Kindle subscription, and $192 on some miscellaneous stuff. And then my savings are pretty much set. I save $500 a month for future real estate investment property. Formerly, this was my duplex emergency fund, but that is now finished. I saved $10,000 as a duplex emergency fund, and that's very exciting in case of a tenant that won't leave, or not having a tenant in there, or some repair that needs to be made that's expensive, and I don't even have to touch my personal emergency fund. So that's wonderful. Highly suggest if you own any properties or real estate, you have a little fund for repairs for that, same as I recommend for the car. So you're always eventually gonna have car repairs or need to replace a car, so that's one of the things I save for every single month, and now I have that for the home as well, except I just have a little nest egg of $10K in there. I also save for, as you saw, car repair, replace, some long-term savings, travel, Christmas, medical, and Rory. And then for investments, I put $500 a month, or I am going to be putting $500 a month this year into my Roth IRA, which will max it out. And I also invest $50 a month into M1 Finance. So that's non-retirement investing. So here is my non-day job income and expenses. So for YouTube over here, I made $2,100 off of YouTube. Thank you so much for watching these videos. More of you have been doing it lately, and if you're new here, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I also made $114 off of Amazon affiliates, $490 off of my website, which is awesome. We're finally making some money off the website. That thing has been costing me money for years. There is a lot of cool stuff there, and I've been much better at updating it and getting new articles out. There's actually one for some really unique and cheap and wonderful Valentine's Day ideas. So I will leave the link to budgetgirl.com down below, directly there. I'm also doing a monthly budget guide. So things you should remember to budget for in the month of February, things you should remember to, what seasonally is on sale, what things are going to be on sale during the month, what you should try to avoid buying during the month, and some money challenges and more fun stuff like that. So I'll link that article down below as well. I made $940.38 on Etsy, and then $889.72 on Etsy. That is from the these budget templates and the other stuff I have over there. So if you want to go check that out, feel free. And then I made $750 from an old sponsorship for a video. You guys might have seen it back in October. I did a sponsored video for Skillshare. And then $100 for an affiliate. All right, now over to my expenses. Now these are getting higher this year, and I'm actually thrilled about it because I've been hiring out just a little bit more help and investing more in the site. So internet, Canva, Flowdesk is my newsletter. I have a newsletter person who does that for me. I signed up for Calendly, which is a website where you can give people a link and they can book you within like certain hours and pay through that platform and everything. I also paid $6 for a video editor, sent some money merch out to a contest winner, paid for a financial diet seminar that I actually didn't get to attend. And then I had some website stuff. I paid for an article, and then I paid quarterly estimated taxes in January. So $478 is, I pay that quarterly to offset what I will have to pay in April for taxes on all this money that I make through Budget Girl, because nobody takes money out of that for you. For some templates and some web work, I actually have some really fun stuff coming out on that. And then I saved $1,000 and $119 for the next quarterly, and then $1,000 just to have kind of some float money in my Budget Girl account so that I'm not, if I do have more expenses than I have income one month, I'll be fine. Important to do. And then I also changed this up just a little bit. This is my Budget Girl properties. I wanted to have it all in one place. So this is, of course, rent for a unit, Jacob's rent, and then my portion totaling out to the $1,700 in mortgage. And then I also had some expenses because, as I mentioned, my renter is leaving at the end of February. So I will have the place empty all of March. So I won't have that income coming in, but I will be doing some renovations over there and some improvements. So I got a new shower head, a new door. I had to call in for a fix on the washer, and then I got a light. And I'm getting, more of this will come in February because I've got some exciting things to do over there to upgrade that unit. I'm excited to get my hands on it, and I do have a new tenant moving in April, so that's going to be fun. So this negative amount is fine. I'm just cash flowing it, but I wanted it to all be in the same column just for accounting purposes. And then this little black box is for a secret project that I'm working on that you can't know about yet, but it's okay. I'll tell you eventually, I promise. The absolute total income that I made was $10,833, and then I spent $4,615 on my monthly expenses, which is a little off because I put the whole $1,700 mortgage in there, but then it kind of comes back. So it is what it is. You can go look at last year's budgets if you want to see kind of how it looks in. It's like $3,000 a month are my expenses. And then $2,000 in expenses for BG, and then $260 in expenses for the property. And then that totals out my expenses to $7,266.53. And the income minus expenses, total take home at the end of the month was $3,566.79, which is incredible. That's so wonderful to have. So I put $1,325 towards that secret project. You can guess what you think it might be below if you want. And then I saved $2,241.79 for my future real estate investment. So whatever home or property or whatever I decide to buy next, that is where this money is going right now. So that equals out to a zero-based budget. Let's jump over to my net worth so you can see how that changed. And you've already gotten the spoiler that I'm over $100,000 net worth. So very cool. I can't really wrap my head around it. So let's top here. So I actually also added a column for year start. So this is what the end of last year looked like, essentially the end of 2020, where my money situation was, so that we can properly compare it to the beginning, the first month of 2021. So I have $4,000 and $5,000 in my checking accounts, and totaling $9,000. One of those is checking account for the property, and that's where rent and mortgage payments go in and out. I like to keep a little bit of a cushion there just in case. $10,000 in my personal emergency fund, $12,000 in my duplex e-fund. And if you remember, at the end of December, I put an extra $2,000 in there just because I knew I'd have a vacant month. And I'm actually refinancing, which sounds insane, but I'll have a video all about that very soon, and it's very exciting because it's actually, my mortgage is going to be cheaper. I know, I've had the property like 9 months. Why am I doing this? Because rates are incredibly low right now. Yeah, it's wonderful. And then $1,800 in long-term savings, equaling $2,400 in my savings, and then I also have all of my sinking funds. End of 2020, I had $941 saved for my next real estate property, and now I have $3,183 saved. It's not much, but when you keep pushing money into something month after month after month, it will grow. And total sinking funds is $11,057. Total all cash and savings is $44,802. I am actually considering investing some of this just so it's not just sitting there. I haven't decided on that yet though. I like having a nice cash cushion just in case something happens. I have $13,000 in my Texas A&M retirement system, $9,000 in an IRA, and then about $12,000 across 2 Roth IRAs. Total retirement, $35,480. And then I've got just a little bit in investing, and my total investments are $36,741. And then here we go down to my assets. So my house is worth $240,000. My car is worth about $6,000. And then my only debt is my mortgage, of which I currently owe $223,339. Now I did refinance in January, in February, the beginning of February, so this is accurate. And my total net worth is everything you own, so your assets, so your cash, your savings, your home, your property, your car. You could even go down to like your jewelry and stuff like that. Anything that you could potentially like sell or cash out and have in hand, minus what you owe. So all of your debts, that's credit card, that's mortgage, car loan, anything like that. So my only debt is my mortgage. So my total assets, which is about $327,000, including my house, what I could sell it for, what it's appraised for, minus my debt, which is $223,000, is $104,204. Your girl's in the 100K club. I'm very excited. So that is a net worth change for the month of $8,732, and that's the same for the year because we're only 1 month into the year. I'm doing pretty good. It's continually shocking how much your net worth will grow kind of regardless of what you are bringing in as far as income that month when you have assets. I have investments that are just kind of continually growing. I also have my home, which is continually being paid on, and appreciating. So the mortgage is being paid down and the home is also gaining in value. And yeah, it's really, really cool. I'm extremely lucky, and I've worked very hard to be here, but I'm also extremely lucky to be in this place. And I sincerely hope that you're able to get to a similar or better place. And I think you can if you are willing to work your money and budget and be intentional about this, because that's all it's taken. I'm not a genius by any standard. It doesn't take a genius. Everyone should be budgeting. If you enjoyed this video, thank you so much for getting to the end. Super cheers and high fives for you. I would love to know how your month or your money is doing so far in 2021. I think a lot of us got a stimulus, so that probably helped just a little bit. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you like wealth building. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.